Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of our deep dive review of the one-off special show that Caledon Radio did on Thursday the 23rd of January. But before I get started on today's show, I would just like to discuss once more Norrie Hunter and his crowdfunding appeal that he's currently got. He's posting again. He started to post things again that he's needing money because nobody's given other than one person recently. He's well short of his £5,000. He's, I think, at the moment £600 that he's got. I've no doubt he'll get the 5,000. There's enough people there who believe everything he tells them. He is saying that he's raising the money for Caledon Media to get back on the air, not Caledon Radio. Now, as you can see in the past, he's claimed that Caledon Media is a not-for-profit organisation. To be a not-for-profit organisation, you need to be registered with the appropriate people. He isn't. There is no sign on any of the registrations Caledon Media is a registered company. If it was, they would have to abide by the regulations and they would have to produce accounts every year on how much money was raised and how much money was spent, where it went. He hasn't done that. Is he misleading you by claiming that he's a not-for-profit organisation? Is he misleading you by telling you that nobody at Caledon Radio gets a penny of what you give? It all goes on the radio station. Right then, everyone, let's get on with part 2 of our deep dive review of the one-off show Norrie Hunter did on Thursday on Caledon Radio. Some of the stuff he talked about is absolute bollocks. Some of the way it's produced is absolutely not great. We'll look at them and maybe I'll give a few tips for him. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Right now, let's get right into our deep dive review part 2 of the Caledon Radio one-off special that they did on Thursday. Have a listen to this.
In the next wee while when we get our premises sorted. This is a one-off show, by the way, to get things up and running. I can already detect that my earphones are crackling mad. That means they're on the way out. Got to get a new pair. You might I don't know if you can hear my voice coming in, if it's booming or if it's, my voice, it's not carrying as well as it did. Might be a new microphone. I don't know. So we have to get things in place. And people say, well, why do you need all that stuff? Well, here's the deal. When you're doing a show every day, you're taking earphones off, on, hanging them up, putting them back on. You're doing a sports show on Saturday. Same gear gets used. Sunday, high noon show. And after a while, things get so worn out because they're used and moved. USB cables are... they're gone. SSDs, they're gone as well. So all these things have to be bought and replaced at some point.
Right, first I say, I'm sorry that the level of the sound is quite low. I've deliberately left it as he broadcasts. He has no idea about broadcast levels and what he's meant to broadcast at, and that's how he broadcasts. It's very quiet. Now, he's mentioning plosives. Plosives are basically the popping noise you can get when you are talking into your microphone. 99.9% of the time, if you're getting plosives, then it's probably bad microphone technique. There's ways you can set the microphone up so that you don't get plosives if you're suffering badly from them. Some people breathe out a lot more than others. But yeah, it's just bad microphone technique. Now he talks about earphones and crackling and such likes. He's probably never heard that they're actually called headphones. This is my headphones, which I have on. And he's saying the reason that they're just worn out. They've been taken on, they've been put off, they've been taken on, they've been put off, they've been taken on, and you know what he said. I know people who've worked on recording studios, got the same headphones that they had 10 years ago. These headphones that I've got, which I probably bought around about probably 2010, something like that. If you look after them, they'll last. And if you buy proper headphones, there is replacements for everything. Normally, the thing that will eventually go, probably because you get it trapped in a chair or something, is the cable. And most professional headphones have replacement cables. They're just plugs. You plug them in, a bit like you're plugging in your headphones into the, I don't know, whatever you're plugging it into, your phone or whatever. It's just a cable you can replace. So headphones, no. If they've gone faulty, you have wrecked them by not knowing how to look after them. He's going about his microphone. He's not doing the things that it should do, and all the popping and banging and such likes. Back in 2020, when he came to visit me and come with his equipment, I told him it was the wrong microphones that he'd gone and bought. But apparently, I knew nothing about radio stations, broadcasting, even though I've been doing it since 1992, I think it was when I first started. Knew nothing. I'd set up many radio stations, knew nothing apparently. Told him it was the wrong thing. Now, if you're going to buy proper microphones for radio broadcast, like I have here, you've two alternatives. It really is as simple as that. If you're doing radio broadcasting and you want to do it and you buy new microphones, you have two alternatives. You can buy a Shure 7B, which comes at a price of about £400 to £500. Plus, you're likely going to need a cloud lifter. And I'm not even going to attempt to explain it to Norrie. But for £80, you can buy one of these, which is what I have. It's a PreSonus PD70. It is PreSonus's copy of the Shure 7B. Yeah, it's maybe not as good quality. Ultimately, I'll just put that down on the floor. But it's a proper mic. You can hear. I'm nowhere near my microphone. So it's not as though you're going to be there. My Rodecaster picks it up and sets it up very clear. You just set it up on your Rodecaster and off you go. So microphone-wise, it's nothing to do, most of what he's talking about is nothing to do with his microphone. It is just he has bad microphone technique. USB cables. What on earth is he talking about USB cables? I have one USB cable between my computer and my mixer. One. It's a big, thick, high-quality cable, which you get when you buy the Rodecaster. He's got the same as me. He went and bought it. Rodecaster Pro 2. It's £500 on Amazon at the moment. It was about £600 when I bought mine, but does everything. Comes with the cable that you need. One cable to connect your computer to your mixer. And you never touch it. You never touch it. It's there, it's connected permanently. One of the problems he's got, and I can almost guarantee that he is not aware of how to get the best out of the Rodecaster 2, and SSD drives. He started broadcasting in 2020. SSD drives are kind of now what everybody uses. Most of them come with a minimum of 3 years warranty. Just about, if you're buying a proper one, it'll have a 5-year warranty. Okay, now if I start this, what you need to look at is the level meters right in front of you. They'll see them there. They're green and orange. That's the level Norrie is broadcasting at. As you can clearly see, he's down by about 15 decibels. And then he has this problem where his stream keeps dropping out, and we get this coming up. And that's the stream, as you can see, broadcasting at the correct level, and then it drops back down again. It's infuriating when you are trying to listen to the station, because you've turned the volume up in whatever device you're listening to so that you can hear what Norrie's saying, because he's not broadcasting at the right levels. And then suddenly the stream will drop back into the host's stream and it'll blast your ears out. So there you have it, a deep dive review of the one-off special from Caledon Radio on Thursday the 23rd of January. We looked at the listener numbers in part 1, which revealed that it was as low as 3 at one point and as high as 22. If you can call 22 high for a station that says it's going to challenge BBC Scotland. Then in part 2, we looked at some of the reasons Norrie Hunter has given for wanting his crowdfunding on equipment-wise. Some of the equipment's faulty, blah, blah, blah. We've shown you that actually most of it's down to user technique. It's funny how he's saying his equipment's faulty, yet he can still produce shows like the one-off thing on Thursday. And finally, we showed you that when it comes to broadcasting, Norrie Hunter, Caledon Radio, Caledon Media, I'm not sure which is which, but they have a lot to learn. And you would have thought, having done it for coming up 4 years, isn't it? Just over 4 years. They would have learnt the rights and the wrongs, but clearly not. This has been another Fudge Report from Harvest Moon Radio, a deep dive into Caledon Radio's one-off special show from Thursday, January the 23rd.